Okay, let's check out. So today I want to. Yesterday we built a Chrome extension, which when you open a site that has tokens on it, it'll go ahead and hide the tokens using just text alpha and setting that to 0. Essentially, it's just setting the alpha to 0 and overriding any other colors that might be set on that specific place where the code is shown or the token is shown. So this is more a preventative measure than something I'd expect anyone to use while navigating through sites. But it also allows you to, you could even select the code. I don't have one up here on screen, but you could, since the alpha 0, you could still select and copy it and bring it into your project if you're like showing how to use a token on screen. But the problem with that is once you paste it into a .env file and like VS Code, then it's going to show up. So I wanted to take a look at building a VS Code extension to see if we can hide the values of a .env file pretty much the same way we're doing it in Chrome, just by changing the alpha of values inside of an env file to 0. I don't know if it's possible, but I think I'll learn a lot on the way. I've never made a code extension before, but I know they have some templates or samples that give you a lot of good starting points. So I browsed these earlier, and I think decorator sample is going to be the one that we're going to look at. Because it's the only one I saw in here where it's actually manipulating the. There's a theme sample, but we don't want to build a custom theme. We want anything to hide the environment vars values. Virtual document sample. I'm pretty sure I'm going to stick with where to go, decorator sample. And let's see here. It's going to be the best way to. Does dget grab all of this? I wonder if we can do it that way. My projects. Do I have dget installed? I think I might be able to do dget on a directory. Decorator sample is not. Oh, dget decorator sample. Is that gonna work? That'd be great if that works. Because I just want to check out this one sample. Looks like it took all of them. Decorator sample. Yeah, they're all in there. No big deal. So we'll go into decorator sample in here and open this up in code and see what we can do from here. Do you have to npm install anything? Do I need dependencies? Do you have dependencies? All right. So we'll go ahead and go ahead and npm install. And I think, let's just see if this works. Where's the scripts? TC watch, compile, pre-publish. Main. How do I actually use this? usage. npm install, then F5 to run the sample. Oh, they must have the code. What are those called? Code run configurations. Where is it in here? Source extension. I wonder where that's defined. Engines VS Code. Maybe that's what makes it run. Run in terminal. What are those called? Run configurations. No. Start. Is that going to do something? Did do something. Okay. So it must be, I wonder why. I'd like to know why that launched a VS Code instance. It must be because of the engines. I don't know what else is configured in here that would have given me I don't see any other files in here that would define launching a VS Code instance. So I think what this is supposed to do is with numbers. It highlights numbers in a certain way. Open editor. Let's open a junk folder. To take VS Code extension playground or something. And then with this, go into our projects, open that. Failed what? Failed to parse decorator package JSON. Oh. Must have edited something. There we go. I wonder if those live refresh. I would assume so. Number 1. Because the preview said it's supposed to highlight numbers. And that's not doing that. So restart, maybe? All right. This is getting real busy in here. Let's see. So, readme. npm run watch to start the compiler. Oh, so it has to be starting incremental. Okay, so we need to have both the npm run watch and the debugger running. So open the extensions development host window, running the extension. Open any document that contains single and multi-digit numbers. The extension will decorate as shown in the screenshot. Oh, there it is. Yeah, the concern here is something similar to what we experienced in Chrome, is that as soon as I type a number, like we want this to, our example is going to be .env and token and stuff. Letters and numbers and stuff. So that when we open this, that's probably really hard to see on the stream, but it's highlighting this number in the middle. Like we need, before the documents even open, to hide the text. So this might be harder to do than Chrome, like, because this is applying the decoration after the file's open, but that's too late for us. Like for the purpose of what we're doing, we just need this to not show up at all. So that's already kind of a bad sign as far as what we want to do, but let's forge ahead with hope and an iron will. So let's see what we got in here. Activate, create text editor decoration type. Okay, so this is obviously the small numbers. They turn dark blue and light blue, and large numbers. Oh, so those, yeah, the cursor changed to a crosshair right here. I'm not sure if you can see that. All right. And let's see, large number decoration. So it's finding large numbers by matching text with regex. AMJ Clement, thanks for the follow. So the regex is for digits, if I'm reading that right. And it's just getting the text of the active document, finding all of those, the start and end positions, and then adding a decoration based on the range of the start and end positions. Oh, hover message. I didn't see hover message. I think I've turned my hovers off. Show hover. Oh, interesting. That might be some fun things you could do with that. Adding custom hovers to things inside of code. New range, start end position. So decoration has a range, a hover message, and oh. So that's just part of the hover message, is the match, the number. And this is seeing how long. Okay, a small number is anything with 999 or less, like the 3. Okay. Trigger update decorators. If active editor. Yeah, these are firing on did change text document and on did change active text editor. But there's still like that delay. I switch over, trigger update decorations, and update decorations. Okay, so that's 500. Wonder why we need a timeout on those. Let's see what breaks when if we just call update decorations. It's probably like the text isn't ready yet or something. I'd like to know that this is compiling. Okay, so that's doing something. Let's try turning it off. I'm just gonna make sure that the live compilation's working. Guess we'll have to refresh. Interesting. Maybe a better tactic is just finding the file type we open and I wonder how early we can clear out the text of that. So one thing we'll need to know is if VS Code extension detect file type or something. Language identifiers. No, we're definitely need Where's the file stuff? Workspace, file system. I wonder if the file comes in through the... So we get the editor. Undid change active text editor. Undid change text document. I bet that... Let's see. Can I just log that out? I guess I can put a breakpoint. We're debugging. So restart that. Hi, RetroBear. The goal of the extension is it's for streamers, and I would like to, when I open a .env file, to hide the value, all of the values inside of a .env file. So essentially, when I open this environment file, the value should have an alpha of 0. So I still want the text there. I just don't want people to be able to see it. So it's like a privacy mode. But my major concern right now is that, right now it's doing a text decoration. But the decoration doesn't apply until a half beat after you open the file. And if it even flashes the key or the value of the token, then we failed. It needs to not show the token ever. So it's safe to have this open with other people looking at your screen, essentially. So are these? All right, I did change active text editor. Okay, let's see what active editor. This is gonna be very small for, because I definitely want to only do it on .env files. So kind of step one is finding, at least in my mind, is finding that we have a .env file. Selections, view column, document, file name, language ID. Okay, so we can do event.document.language ID and only apply so editor and editor dot document dot language ID is dot env. So now, like now in the index file, oh, it's still applying it. But nope, it's not anymore. Okay, that must have been leftover. Okay, so we've narrowed it down to only working on an env file. Good first step. So it's, you can see, you might not, it's very small, but there's a highlight on that 3 and on this number in here. Let's do another one. Another and 1, 2, 3, third. Good, like test data. 5, 4, whatever. Okay, so we want to hide all of those inside of an env file. Now, the way it's doing it now is it's regexing numbers. So let's stick with that for a second. We don't need this. We're not worried about large numbers and small numbers. We can delete that. They did small numbers push decoration, large numbers push. All right, we'll call them small numbers. Push decoration. I'm going to call these token value text. Sure. So these should all highlight. Yeah, these all highlight the same way now. And that'll highlight with a border. Now I'm curious if I can just add decoration range. Small number decoration type. Okay. Now we just want, can we do color? No, color's already white. Color red. Like change the font color itself. Okay. So if we can do color RGBA 0, 0, 0, 0. Well, that could be a string on that. Is that gonna work? Okay. Contrail, thanks for the follow. Yeah, we're so close. Like, there is a brief flash of time where you can see that number. It's one of those projects where like you get it 99% of the way, and that last 1% is a flash of content. Yeah, that's just not going to work. Like it can't flash at all. But we can get rid of all of this stuff. Like this is all we want to do is color. And there may have to be a selection. Yeah. I wonder if we could do selection. Well, I guess that's not. Yeah. Create text editor decoration type. I want to see if there's a selection pseudo selector. Oh wait, I think there might have been one in there already. Border style. No. Yes, code. Selection. Let's do. Shirley Dev, thanks for the follow. All right. Decoration render options. That's what we want to see. After, before. Huh. I wonder if we can like add emojis and stuff. Just out of sheer curiosity. This has nothing to do with what we're doing, but error exists after running NPM watch. Before, what's the error? Wasn't before an option? Oh, it's properties. Okay, so before. Oh, it's a whole thing. Can you have content? Content text? Before content text and an emoji. Sure, why not? I think I have to refresh this, restart the debugger. Nice. We can plop in little emojis next to where everything's hidden. Are they selected? Like if I copy and paste this, is that part of the document? Yeah. Is it part of the raw file though? I'm actually curious if that's part of the raw file or just a visual. Code. Huh. Yeah, it's just a fun little decoration for the file. It's not actually in there. That might be worth considering, but yeah, I don't know. It's actually not too bad. Like there might be like a single frame where like most of the time it's not shown. And there might be like a single frame in there where you can see the text, but that might not come across on the stream. Like I don't know if anyone else can see the flash in there where you can see the token. Let's see. VS Code extension parse text before displayed. Like, if I can just prevent the entire file from being displayed inside the editor, I think that'd be a good starting point. I don't know if that's I can't quite work out the logic of preventing text from rendering. Let's clean up some of this stuff. Cleaning always makes my brain work better. And I actually do kind of like the before content text. It's a good hide emoji. Oh, there's like a covering eyes one, right? Is there only the monkey? There we go, that's cute. So text active get text. Let's debug here. It's not hitting that breakpoint. On did change active text editor. On did change text document. Right, those firing. Let's put it down inside the code block. Oops. Oh, it did pause, but it didn't halt. It didn't halt the editor. Yeah, this is already rendered and displayed by the time we get to this event. On did change active text editor. I wonder what's earlier, like the click on the file itself? So, yeah, maybe when VS Code window, VS Code workspace. Yeah, we're gonna have to dig into the APIs for this. Create terminal, create activation events, maybe. Workspace contains on view. Oh. No. Those, I imagine those are when your extension turns on. Oh, I guess we could do submit and activate whenever file that resolves a certain language gets opened. Okay. Maybe that can help us out. Where is our activation events on the package JSON? Okay. Do I have one already? I do. On language .env. Oh, that's already in there. Okay. And then I don't think I would need to check this. Because then it will simply turn on whenever I open. Huh. Okay, let's pause all these and resume. On a step, I want to resume. Start over at least. Extension. I told you to stop. Okay, env. It's so close. Extensions manifest, commands, theme color. Where's the events? Add breakpoints. Window, active terminal, window state. On change active terminal. Nope. This is the one we're using. On did change active text editor. Advantage fires. Want to change window state. The focus state of the current window changes. Theme color document selector. Register hover provider. The TypeScript files and the document selector is the TypeScript. Okay. Text documents down on this document selector. VS Code languages. Interesting. I wonder if this would run in time. VS Code API. languages for language-specific editor features. IntelliSense code action diagnostic. Registration is done using a document selector, which is either a language ID like JavaScript or more complex. Here's an example of this. I don't know where I'd put this. Features. Tell me where to put this. Maybe there's a sample. Where those samples go? Code actions. Context. Subscriptions. All right, so activate. Oh, you just import VS Code language? Okay. Register code actions provider. Okay. So let's comment all of this out and try that approach. Well, we'll just cut this out. Extension, and then it's just function activate. Export function activate context. VS Code extension context. Export function activate context. Extension context. Not default. And then VS Code.languages. Register code actions provider, code lens, register color provider. Set language configuration. Set text document and language. Let's find the docs for that. VS Code languages. Register color provider. Multiple providers can be registered for a language. A selector that defines the documents as providers equal to. Color provider. Okay. Document selector scheme file, just language.end. Okay. Language is .end. And selector. Register color provider. This is the selector here. No, selector, document selector. Yeah. Unless I'm doing that totally wrong. Register color provider. Selector is a document selector, and document selectors. Oh, it can be a string. Okay. .env. And then this is our document color provider. Provider finds a contract between extensions and the feature of picking and modifying colors in the editor itself or in the text of the editor. That's what I'm... properties, language, pattern. This matches the absolute path of the document. Sounds... This one sounds interesting. Document formatting edit provider. So I just make an object with that method on it. Provide color presentations, provide document colors. I'm misreading this. Document color provider. Oh, that's on the document filter. I just scrolled down too far. Provide document colors. The document in which the command was invoked. I'd love to see a sample of this. This code extension. Hi, Merciful. Thanks for the follow. This one. Register color provider, document selector. Oh, look. No answer. Okay. Does this have document color provider on it? I didn't go to the right place. Provide. I just have to figure it out from the docs. One sec. Okay, so decoration render options, no. Register color provider. This is where we're starting from, so I want to... Register color provider. Document selector should just be a string of .env. According to this, you can just take a string. And then a provider. Document color provider. Defines the contract between extensions. Provide color presentations. Document is a text document, and the token is a cancellation token. All right. So provide a result, an array of color information, or a thenable that resolves to such. Provide. Color information. The range the color appears in must not be empty. The value of the color. Okay. So let's just try returning a new color information. The range and a color. Provide a result. Code, color information. And the show hover now. What's that? It's like hints or something. Trigger perimeter hits. There it is. Provider, document color provider. Must register color provider. That's what I'm trying to do. Try register color provider. PS code extension. Registered color provider. Registered color provider. Okay, so new Go color provider. All right, that's what they're expecting is something like this. Let's try that. .env. We need to return color information. So, color information. information. Whoa. It's code extension, color information. Oh, this is just a range and color. Howdy, the Wandering Scholar. Any chance you've made a VS Code extension before? Okay. So a range. Define a new range. What's up, Chris? If essentially what I'd like to do, let me comment this all out. So we're like, this approach gets me 99.9% of the way there. Like I'm almost happy with this. Meaning that when I come over here and I open my env file, you'll see that it replaces, it actually just takes the numbers. Like the regex right now is just finding numbers. It's not finding the values, which we could fix, but so it's hiding the numbers and changing their alpha to 0 and putting some monkeys before and after it. But the problem is that it flashes the numbers before it has a chance to apply the formatting, unless looks like it's cached sometimes and it won't. But like if this is going to work, it has to never show the numbers or never show the values of the tokens. So yeah, like the goal is to like a privacy mode or a streamer mode where tokens inside of .env files are hidden, never displayed, not even flashed. So, and by hidden, I mean just the color alpha is taken down to 0. So this approach was just based off one of the samples using text decorations. And again, it's close, but you have that delay. And so I was trying to see if there was an earlier way. I don't know if there'd be an earlier event. Like I'm not too confident I'll find a solution without talking to someone from the code team on like when is the earliest I can interrupt the rendering of the text, because there might not be a phase of VS Code where like before the text is rendered where there's any hooks to hook into or anything. So I was looking into the other approach was everything I commented out above. There's a document color provider. And so this wasn't based on events. It's based on the providing colors to a document. And I told it to activate in the package JSON to activate when you have a .env in your language. But I'm kind of wonder if you could use VS Code activation events to trigger a font color change. Well, I mean, the activation event handler is just this, right? Like, do I have... Activation event. Well, I mean, I think with activation event set to onLanguage.env, that way it just triggers when a .env file opens. Like that should be, that's not going to be any later than using an asterisk for all of the events. Oh, I guess on language might be later than, like some other events might be earlier than on language, huh? I think that's what you're referring to. Tap on the PC to type faster. Oh, you're on your phone or something. Yeah, I don't know what is like the editor. I don't know what's on the extension context. Because we need to find that it's a .env file. Like we don't want to be parsing every file we open. Let's see. What is the extension context? Extension context, collection of utilities private to an extension. Subscriptions, workspace state, global state, extension path, storage path, log path. But we do have VS Code has a few things on it, like the global VS Code. A lot of them are types, but VS Code API, commands, comments, debug, environment, extensions, languages. I think it would be to run a script on VS Code startup to add transparency to all fonts that open any env files. Okay, so add transparency to all fonts. I guess you'd be hooking into the theming system then, rather than. This is all fairly new to me, so. Like probably tried. Window, active text editor. I mean, do we have all that information? Like, VS Code, window, active text editor. Don't need that. What is the active text editor going to give me? The document. Okay. Active document. Get text. Feels like get text is too late. Like we want an event before the text. I'm just curious if this works right now. Looks like there's an error for something. I have a red squiggly there and I don't know why. At least I think yeah, it's a red squiggly. Is it one of those? Probably because active text editor can be null. Currently active or undefined, yeah. If editor. Oh. I assume it'll log out. Reload. And Did I put the... Oh, does it come after? I haven't used that feature yet. I still see a squiggly. I might not be on the latest of TypeScript. And I rarely use TypeScript, so this is new to me. You put it here at this? Yeah. Error expression expected. I don't know what version of TypeScript I'm on. Oh, so you're saying... if this thing would please... just go away. So you're saying that nullable works like this? What was that document? I'm still seeing squigglies. It might be hard for you. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, I appreciate the help with that. So I think the trouble right now is that this is activating. It's not logging. Doesn't it show up in the log? It's my debug console. Debug. View debug. That's not stopping. Oh, now it stopped for some reason. Did I change what I called my activate function? This is... yeah, in the package JSON. I'm using all of the activation events. Yeah, I doubt I have 3.7. Yeah, 3.5. Ooh, I love ideas. Kill the child editor. I assume that's what you mean by the child editor. Restart it. Okay. Exit this window. Oh, it runs when you... I thought hitting the refresh would trigger that. It's interesting to me that this doesn't halt VS Code. Like I can still navigate around it, but the breakpoint is stopped there. Hi, Squeakers. I'm trying to make a Visual Studio Code extension that will hide values inside of a .env file, kind of like a privacy mode or a streamer mode. I am nowhere near well versed in this, and we got really, really close, but it still kind of flashed the values in there real quick. So we're trying to find like an earlier place to change the this to alpha of 0 essentially. Editors undefined. Window. Active text editor undefined. Yep. Because that's still. Maybe the stars bunk. Have you tried workspace contains editor to config or something similar? I'm just running down the docs while I'm waiting for a compile to finish. Okay. I haven't tried. I don't know what workspace contains is. I've only tried the onLanguage.env as an activation event. And I thought I hadn't explored that fully yet. So my previous example where it was decorating the text too late was using the what are those events called? It wasn't using the activation events. It was using the on did change active text editor events, like on the window and workspace events on VS Code. I don't know how those differ so much from the activation events, but I would assume that they're later than activation events. So I thought that activation event on language.env looked promising, like activate the plugin when you open a .env file. I just don't know if that would allow the plugin to intercept like the text before it's rendered. Okay, don't show this again. What is this? Prettier? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just a way of saying trigger this activate function. Like it activates like a hook for the activation events. So it wouldn't run if I open this, but then when I clicked on, well, I think I have to restart the plugin or the extension. But it would run when I click on this. So there you go. The debugger hit and found this. But like my struggle right now is that because this doesn't halt this editor, I don't know when this breakpoint is being hit from a user perspective. Like I don't know if this is being hit before the text is rendered, which is frustrating. Like to me, debuggers should stop this entirely. But well, let's can I pop this out? is a lot of junk. If I pop this out, problems output. Wow, okay. So all these plugins are logging out a whole bunch of stuff that I don't want to see. Can I... VS Code TypeScript TS-Lint plugin, pair colorizer, access to Windows scoped configuration. Looks like everyone has a bug in their plugin that just logs to the debug console. Excellent. So how do I launch a clean VS Code extension launch child with no extensions? I don't know. Without others installed. No, this is... I think I've kind of reached the point where editor document. I wonder what we can do on that. This is just too much. Editor document, offset, save URI, validate range. Editor set decorations. Oh, we have some decorations in here. What does that look like? Set decoration, small number decoration type. VS Code window. Let's see if we can bring this in here. Decoration. If editor set decorations. And then it needs that range, I believe. Also, every time I'm on here, there's a fun new issue. Yeah. I try and pick things that are fun, might be interesting to similar minds. I like to hang out with people who are working on similar stuff. Or interested in similar stuff. So token value texts. So these are value text. It's an array of range and hover messages. Let's try this. And 10. New world. Sure, why not? Error exists. What did I do wrong now? Argument of type. Oh, ranges must take some other type of data. Start position is a position at. Oh. Active editor document position at. Okay. Start is editor document position at 0. And 10. Start. Are we good? We're good. Okay. There we go. That was too late. Way too late. Way too late, and it only works the first time. Because that activate's only called once. So I'd have to update it on those other events. So it worked now. This should be the first time. And that's, yeah, that's beyond too late. Well, Trendo, thanks for the follow. And this is as early as I possibly, well, hi, El Trendo, how's it going today? So that's on language.end. But I can't think of any other, what are the other activation events? We'll try. I'm trying to make a Visual Studio Code extension that's sort of like a privacy mode that will hide values of your environment variables. So this kind of works if I take this back to this. I refresh and I open this. You can see after a second, it'll hide this stuff. But I need it to do that before the text like even renders out. I can't wait for it to show it and then hide it. That defeats the entire purpose. So I spent like the majority of the stream today with it 99% working. It's just too late. Like I need to find the earliest possible place to access the text and set the visibility or hide the visibility of it. The problem is I don't even know if it's possible, and I might have to reach out to someone on the code team because I don't know what event to listen to trigger my behavior. Because this is no. Yeah, I might have to just call it and reach out to someone on the team. I don't think I'm going to get any farther by unless I get an expert on this. Like the API doesn't have a list of like in what order events fire, like the startup phase of opening a document, those sorts of things. At least not that I can find. A lot of fun stuff in here though. Just And it's kind of cool to see how simple it was to put an extension together, but I don't think this is gonna fly. All right, I'm gonna head offline, and yeah, if I can find someone who can help me with it and point me to the right event or phase or whatever of VS Code, I'll definitely show it off and open source it. But yeah, let's tweet about it. But for now, yeah, I know a few, like just from Twitter contacts. I met a couple of them at Build a few years back, but I'll tweet to the people I know. That's what I meant by reach out to, is tweeting about it, right? Activation events. On view, on language, on command. I'll have my people reach out to your people. Whenever a folder is opened and the folder contains at least one file. Startup, yeah. I don't know. Yep. My knowledge is not deep enough to find the answer to this. All right, everyone. Have a great day. I'm out. We'll get this sorted though, for sure. So close.